Welcome everyone. I'm Sandy of Lolly and Sand, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Canada, and I'm happy you have joined me. I'm just checking the feed here, make sure everything's working. So we'll take a moment and talk about the weather. I know. Oh, the weather, it's lovely. It's like 5 degrees Celsius. That would sound really horrible if it wasn't in Celsius. All right, looks like I'm pretty centered. I'm gonna move a couple things, and hopefully everything's working just peachy keen-erific. If you are just joining me, say hello. I see Elsie. Hello, Elsie. Alrighty, so lots to do tonight. Oh, I'm covering up. I have my notes here and I covered them up. I can't see. So first thing, I want to say thank you for all the shares last week. The winner was Betty H, and I will be sending Betty one of the cards from last week's video. And that's where we use the Honeybee Home Bundle. So I don't have it in the mail right now, Betty. I didn't get out today. Wasn't feeling 100%, so I just stayed put. just stay home if you're not feeling well, right? I feel better now. Oh, and the comments are rolling past. Go ahead. Hi, Sandy and Marjorie and Nicole and Gail. Hello, hello. So yeah, again, thank you for all your shares. I appreciate it so much, and I'm going to do that again this week. So now you may be surprised that I've brought out the Artfully Layered again. It's true. Artfully Layered again. Oh, yes. And the other thing, of course, let me just go back 1 second, is after you shared, I just noticed Gail shared, thank you, is to put shared in the comments because of privacy settings. If you share it, I don't check to see that you shared it, but if you don't say that you shared it, when I check the shares, you can open that up and see who shared them. Last week there were 7 shares and I can only see 2 names. So, I did have to do a little digging just to make sure. Anyway, yeah, Facebook loves shares and Facebook loves comments, and Facebook and YouTube love hearts and thumbs up and all that fun stuff. Okay, so yes, I'm bringing out the Artfully Layered. Just notice I have ink on this because I didn't get to show you this stamp. I never stamped with it. I think I die cut, but I don't think I stamped. So to be fair, and the fact that this is my favorite, this is my favorite bundle out of the mini catalog. This is. So I'm just going to keep using it. I'm just going to move my camera over again, and hopefully I can stay centered. So yeah, I'm going to need this die tonight. These are the dies you get with it, but I'm going to use this one tonight. So Artfully Layered, my favorite, gorgeous, tropical. And you know what? I've seen these done in pink and all kinds of colors. We don't have to stay with green, although I am tonight. Okay. Now I may miss your comments. No worries. I always look either the day after or the day after when I can get to them. I do believe for the next 3 days I have my grandsons. I'm going to be busy. Anyway, just before we get started, I know my printer, I just got ink. Can you believe it? Anyway, there's a brand new promotion out right now, and you need to hear about it. I did post about it, but I think it's nice to hear it verbally too, you know? So from March 1st to 31st, you can pick up the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss 20% off. Like, wow, that's crazy. If you're a demo, you also get your Demonstrator discount as well, which is awesome. And now somebody already counted this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, they said there's 13. There's 13 bundles as well. I don't think they're not going to show up on the camera. I do have a blog post that you can see like better images and more information. These are bundles. Everything in these bundles can all go through the mini, which is awesome. Awesome. So I'm looking at a couple of them too. I don't believe I don't have the Quiet Meadow bundle. Why? I don't know. And this one, Garden Wishes. Yeah, that I can tell I like leafy things. And these trees too, Beauty of Friendship. Now I did hear that one of them was already unavailable, and I believe it's the Wildcat bundle. So I'm not going to read through all of these. As I said, this is all on my blog as well, which is also a blog hop, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to bring out the mini because, yeah, we're going to use it tonight. I don't know how close this is going to be for you, and I always go this direction, so I'm going to hold it that way. So unfortunately, I looked high and low, but not feeling well. I didn't look that hard. I looked for the other plates. I'm missing 3 and 4, which are the embossing plates, and I forget what the other one is. I know there's demos here. You can help me out. These are the die cutting, and we are going to do some die cutting. So I thought, while we're talking about the special, I'll show you this. So this guy's really cute. I'm not a strong person, okay? This guy is so light. But wait, yeah, I can lift it up with one finger. That is awesome. Light but sturdy. So this is great because these fold down. These are where the plates run along, and yeah, it's got a good space. So the mini is perfect. If you don't want to commit to the whole, like the big one at this point, go with the mini. Just know that your larger embossing folders won't go through this, but there's tons of little ones that will go through. And also what I'm using tonight. So, I just dropped a die. Just a moment. Oh, you hate when that happens. You drop a die. Alrighty. So I thought we'll do some of the die cutting first. I have my embellishments nice and close so I don't forget. Okay, so what I have here, I didn't write down the name of it. This is this really cool, this is what happens when you move things. This is the really cool vellum that is in the mini. I believe they go with this suite. I believe it does. You can see there's just itty bitty little printing on it. Don't worry about that. I can't read it either. So let's line up some of these. I had them all in order, but now we've messed things up. So let's start at the beginning. I'm going to die cut Granny Apple Green with the largest of the layering circles. Now my understanding with these, I hope you can see this, I think you can, is that you don't really want to line these up straight because it's like putting something really thick through a small spot. So what I'm going to do is kind of offset them a bit and just make sure everybody's lined up. All right, and now you do need to hold on to this like anything. Oh my goodness, I'm so close to the edge. Somebody should have looked before they went ahead. I think so. Hopefully we got the whole thing. I think we did. Yay. So this little guy has power. So there's our Granny Apple Green circle. I'm putting the dies in my magnetic tray. Okay. And I always like to start over. I like to bring the plates back. I think I can't read the print. It doesn't matter if it's upside down, but what I can't see is if I'm on the right or the which side of the paper I'm on. So we'll just go with it. So I'm kind of staggering these again, and off they go. Through they go, through. I don't often do cards right from the very beginning. I know you often see me with all the pieces already cut, but I thought because we're making one card tonight, I do apologize. It's been a busy week. I think I only had I even had my grandson for part of today. Hard to believe, but true. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, let's cut this, is remember the rainbow dies. This is from the rainbow dies. I think they're called Brilliant Rainbow Dies. Yes, Brilliant Rainbow Dies. So I'm just going to run that through. I'm just trying to think, did I need that piece for something else? I don't remember. Makes that yucky noise. What I should have done, and what you should do when you run things that have like a long edge, is I should have angled the paper. Then it would have just this small surface to go over instead of like this big flat image or this big flat piece. So lesson learned, but it worked, of course. So I want that little rainbow. And I don't know if you noticed that this plate looks really awful. This is my bottom plate. This was supposed to be my dedicated top plate, but clearly I used it for something else. So when I'm die cutting, I just need the one at the bottom plate, and then 2 of these number 2 plates. But we're not done. Oh, yep. Now I remember what I was using that for. New piece of paper. This is why I have paper on the sidelines, just in case I mess up. That was also for this, but I have to trim it down a little bit by the looks of things. It was a messy edge anyway. Whee! All right, so I am doing the word amazing, and with this I can do, you can, what do you call it? You can have the solid image and layer it up with, it'll make more sense when you see it, with the actual word itself. It's gonna look really pretty. That did not make the least bit of sense. I so wanted to have a sleep today. So. All right, so for this, just laying that in, same as everything, and putting it through. So as you can see, I could have put the rainbow and this, line them up. This has a wider opening than the plates, which is great, but you still need to line them up. And I did, by the way, try to raise my camera up just a little bit, knowing that I was going to be using the mini Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Okay, there's the amazing, and here it is here. So that's the piece that's going to go behind the basic black. So that was basic white, just regular, not the thick stuff. And then we'll get the actual word amazing. Who watching here doesn't have the mini? I just call it the mini because mini Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, that's a mouthful. A big mouthful. Big mouthful. Anyway, 20% is, oh, my paper moved. Or my die moved. What I was going to say is at some point there is going to be a magnetic plate for this, which is awesome. Because I like when my die cut piece, my dies stay straight. Stay put. I'm just going to do it like that. Wait. I didn't line them up. There. I didn't stagger them, and that's the problem. Stagger them a bit. Everybody staggers different. If you watch anything on YouTube, we all seem to do it a little bit different, so, you know. Anyway, I did say at the beginning, I will check the messages later, the comments, but I do thank you for commenting as we go along. I really think that's awesome. All right, and there's our word. That's what I was looking for. And I like this a lot because, check this out, the little dot on the I stays put. It doesn't, you know, fly off like others. Okay, for now, that's what we're doing with that. I will bring it back in a bit. Alrighty, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to cut the paper and wait till you see I am not doing my usual. I know. My usual is to cut it straight down the center at 4 1/4 by 11 and then score it at 5 1/2. But no, today I'm going this direction. Unbelievable. So half of 11 is 5 1/2. And I like this cutter, our paper trimmer, so much. I used a friend's trimmer and it was only like this big, and I did not know what was going on. I had things that should have cut in just seconds took way longer as I tried to figure out how to use it. This is simple. That's my cutting blade. That's my scoring blade. I am going to use my scoring blade. So in the meantime, this is 5 1/2 by 11. I'm going to get rid of that cutting blade. We don't need that right now. I'm going to score it at the halfway mark. So half of 8 1/2 is 4 1/4. I do like to double check because I know, how many times have I said, because I still need to get my eyes tested again. Older eyes, very annoying. All right, that is our card front, but I'm going to cut 1 inch off this side just for fun, Well, we have that planned. Okay, 1 inch. Now this piece perfectly fits, fold that, right here, obviously. So move that aside. This is from another card where I actually did the whole piece, and I have embossed it using the, oh, what's it called? Checks and dots? Dots and checks and dots. Anyway, I love the dots because they look very clean and very, I don't know, they look happy to me. All right, I do have to get my bone folder out, apparently. Oh, I was going to say, when I was looking for the plates today, I emptied out the drawers, and then due to the fact I wasn't feeling 100%, I left everything on my table beside me. Like, I can do that another day. All right, so nice crisp edge there. So that is the base of our card. But now we get to stamp, and I chose this piece. I know it's large, and I know we don't need this much, but I chose this because when I did my sample card, I used an entire sheet of paper because I was like, this is fun, and I kept stamping. So I actually do have die cut pieces to the side, but we are going to die cut this. If I happen to mess up, and it happens, we'll use one of my die cuts off to the left. Okay, so what I have here is Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. I'm going to keep this one closed for now, just so I don't, you know, use it. I don't want to use it right now. Well, I do want to use it. Actually, I do have to open it. My brain. Okay, I will keep it on the opposite side, though. And it is darker. But what you will notice is, see how on the back here, there's a label sheet, and it's got the color. So I took all the languages, and I put them all the way around and in here. You can see with this one, I only put it here. There's the rest of them. Use those. Use those, okay? You definitely want to peel those off, regardless of the language. Like in my case, I only speak English. I wanted Shaded Spruce to be at the front, which is how I was going to call it my ink display, how it's set up in the storage. But I'd have to put it all the way around and in here. That way I probably maybe won't go into the wrong color. Now, seeing as this is a large stamp, and it may have fit on a smaller block, but it may have been in use at the time. I'm using, block number E. E as in Edward. This is a large stamp. So what I'm going to do is first get that. There's a little something from the cloth I used. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to ink it this way. I'm hoping this is on screen because the video is always delayed. Give it lots of ink. Don't worry about it. I want to make sure it's good and covered. But now this is one of our blending brushes, and clearly I've used a little pink on it, but mostly greens. And I'm going to go in here and put a little bit on this particular image. What was I going to say? Oh, I need a scrap piece of paper. Always need a scrap piece of paper. This is the one where I did hearts. Okay, so you get 2 in the package, by the way. And I would do this with the bristles. They are really thick and luscious and beautiful. Before Stampin' Up! Came up with, or started offering these, I had bought some off of Amazon, and there's like no comparison whatsoever. I'm sorry, everything's too high. Move it down, move it down. So I'm just putting, we'll see how it turns out. If we don't like it, we'll do it again. So I just basically pounced some of the Shaded Spruce onto the stamp. I'm going to go this way because I think I can get more images. Let's see how it looks. What you want to do is just take your time. Take your time. Let the ink, I'm not pressing hard. I'm just pressing evenly. I'm not doing the rock and roll thing. We don't want to do that. And see, I would want more color, but I'm still going to try and get the second one out of this too. This is first generation, second generation. I love that. It's really light. Okay, so I got to clean this. Is what I don't want to do, and you don't want to do, because you know I've done it. I did it right on my video, is I put a darker color into a lighter color. Or into a, oh, what was it? I put something into the reddish color and I ended up with brown. So this is my Stampin' Chamois. I have got so much ink in here. Okay, let's bring it up. Oh, and my chamois is super wet because I just washed it. So I'm actually going to have to dry this a bit. What you don't want is to get water into your inks. So I see there's some here. So I'm going to my recycle. This is so classy, but you might as well see how I do it. just taking an edge, or my fingernail, and getting it into that crevice there, just to get that water out. I don't want the water. All right, let's do it again. We wanted more anyway, because I am going to make a bunch of cards using this. All right, come back where people can see. This is a secret. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a secret. I'll bring it back. If I was taller, I'd be able to sit up higher and see my camera and know that I'm centered, but I'm not. So it's like at eye level. Okay, so there's that color. What should we do? Okay. Let's just try it a little different again. I'm going to go with a little bit less. You can see why I kept playing with it. I was like, I have to keep going with this. Sometimes I'm embarrassed. I should show you how many I made. But yeah, they're off to the side. Okay, see, I like that better because I can actually see. I see a little bit of blue in this one. I don't know if that's proper or not. But before it dries, I want to get the second image. I can probably put that right up there. Every little space, you know, I'm thinking, what can I use this for? Well, I'm going to heat emboss the other part of the sentiment, so I'm definitely going to want that. Alrighty. Are we happy? Yeah. So I want it nice and pale. And, again, I don't know with the bright lights if you can see all that. So some of the darker bits are on the end. Same here. I actually like both of them. But you're only going to see the top part of the second one, so that's okay. So I'm going to put away the shaded spruce. Oh, if you've never opened these, by the way, I know some people can do this and open them. This girl can't do that. My hands aren't strong enough. So you open it like a compact. I do not own a compact, but you open it like a compact and then just give it a push. And then you put all your labels on. Okay, by the next time you see this, somebody better have her labels on. So same thing, just close it. I know I cut my fingernails way down, but I like to grab this with my fingernails because I really don't want to get ink on my hands. And close. If it's closed like this, it's not closed. I hope that's on the camera. So you want to make sure that this one doesn't need a snap. It's my, which one is it? Mango Melody that I have to snap shut. All right, so one thing I'm going to have to do is grab my scissors because this is not going to fit through the machine, which is perfectly fine. It wasn't supposed to. And I think I will go with this one. So I'm going to, whoop. I still want to save that one though, so. And we're going to save these guys. I will cut those, just not right now. I'm just running through the machine. Oh, and maybe take the other bits from the amazing, what were they? The Amazing Thanks dies and get rid of those. That's my bottom plate. Now, see how this is, it's just tiny, tiny bit warped. When it starts to do that, I like to switch it around. But tonight, I'm gonna throw caution to the wind and leave it as is. Hard to believe. Hard to believe, but true. Here we go. Now, stay put. I still have a magnetic base from my old machine, so I use that a lot because I don't like when they move. So what I'm going to do is just slip this in, lay this down nice and flat. Whenever the magnetic plates come out, I am buying them. I'm just going to make the prediction that they're coming. Okay. Just because you want something, of course, doesn't mean it's going to arrive. You know? Alrighty. Woohoo! Oh, right on. I find that hard to believe that I did that. It's kind of like stamping straight. You know, on a video, that's just never going to happen. I'm going to cut this little edge off just to make sure it doesn't get caught on the way through. So the mini. Now, we no longer have our family's cottage, but if we did, this is what I would be taking with me to craft. Definitely. I'm not going to lug the big dude. I can make do. I can make this work. So again, at 20% off, and it's all the products you see tonight that I'm using, except the embossing buddy that we're going to use, are available in my online shop. I think that's really close to the top, so we're going to see. will post all the links after. I never do it before because it's easier after, because I can just cut and paste. I don't have to type it. And why type if you can cut and paste? That's what I say. Ooh, pretty. So, oops. Alrighty, so now put the die over in the metal box. What is it? Magnetic box. So everything stays put. Alrighty. And since we have this lovely little piece here, I am going to do the sentiment. Now, I will show you where this is from, because it's not from the Artfully Layered set. And I've used this before. This one right here. Now, it's not going to say, amazing, I love you. I'm actually going to cut this off right here. But I am going to heat emboss the whole thing. But I love this. I love this. It looks not like my handwriting, but it's really pretty. It's way prettier than my handwriting. So it's got so many, lucky me, I have you, all day your way, you matter to me. Yes, being awesome is just your thing. Yep. This is one of the sets that I would have to say should be a must-have. I don't say that about everything. I do say that about the Artfully Layered Bundle and the beautiful DSP and all the other goodies that come with the in the suite for the Artfully Layered. Okay. Oh, I lied. There's 2 items that aren't available. Stampin' Up! Used to have these trays for catching embossing powder, and they don't anymore. And then again, as mentioned, the other thing they don't have is the embossing buddy. So you'll need to pick one up somewhere. Amazon, maybe a craft store, I'm not sure. This takes the static away and allows the sticky stuff in the Versamark and the powder. Make sure that everything just stays in one spot, that the powder doesn't, little dots. We've all done it. I've forgotten to use my, I have really forgotten to use my embossing buddy. And you definitely get little staticky bits. Check this out. I bought a new one. And I'm not going to make it look ugly like my other ones. Now, we've talked about this before. When I'm heat embossing, I do 2, sometimes 3. In case I mess one up, I've got the other one. I don't have to heat up the tool again. It's right there. Now, one thing I want to mention, just like these stamp sets, these, unlike these stamp sets, because your ink is here, the pad is here. When you close it, it's facing down, which means the ink is always at the top of the pad. If I store this one like this, the ink is going to sink down. So I store this one upside down. Same with my memento. I store it upside down as well. All right, so get out the little tray. This is the black embossing powder, and I believe it comes in a package with white and clear. So you get 3 different embossing powders. I have to admit that I use black and white the most. I think I use white the most, actually. But I love the gold and all that. Okay, that was one very, very brand new wet ink pad. Oh, there. If I just set that over there, we're good. Okay. Here comes a little bit of noise. This is our heat tool. Don't put your hand here. This is really hot. Not that you ever would. And what's really good too is when you're done, it stores like this, but when you're done, use this. Just in case it's too hot at the nozzle here, put it up. We don't want any oopsies to happen. All right, bit of noise. So I'm going to heat it. I always do this even when I'm not like on camera. I heat up the tool away from what I'm doing and then bring it in. It's going to go faster. And keep your fingers away from the heat, so aim away from yourself. When you start seeing it get shiny, you know. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, there we go. I always have to check it though. I blame it on the age of my eyes. Now, I will shut that off, put it on its stand, and I just have to see that I see it shining the whole way through. So this is another thing I do. Oh, see, the eye is not done. Okay. I need both of them. Well, for two reasons too. What if I fussy cut and cut in the wrong spot? Then I've got my second one ready to go. There we go. I can see the eye getting shiny. There we go. And off. It has two settings. I never use the lower setting, ever. Okay, they're both shiny. Excellent. Whew. And here comes my paper snips. So, like I said, the first thing I'm going to do, I don't need the eye and the heart. I just need the U. So there's always ways. I hope I cut that where you could see it. I'm not going to worry about this because we're going to tuck that under a little bit. I am going to fussy cut. And what is our mantra? Move the paper, not your scissors. I still get too close or too far away. Sometimes I end up going back over it. I like to do little wonky things, by the way, when I'm fussy cutting. I mean, if it's a straight across word, I will go straight across. But if it's got little bumps and stuff, why not? Get my scissors in there. I don't know where my hands are in relation to what we're doing. It's like, oh my goodness. Alrighty. Keep the second one handy. There's still that just in case. I do want to just round this little bit right here. Get all the little pieces. I have my recycle bin right beside me, which I'm pretty sure most paper crafters have. Now this is too close on that side, which is going to bug me. But what I'm going to do is just cut a little bit closer on this side. And normally I cut on the side where I can see what I'm doing, but this time I'm going to throw caution to the wind one more time and just cut that way. It's a little harder to grab onto a really small word, by the way. I'm sure we've all done it. And pull that out. There we go. I'm happier with that. All right, assembly. And if you hear a rumbling noise, by the way, the dryer is in the room above me. So it's a dryer, overpacked, no doubt, with clothes drying. Okay, I had to give that another crisp edge, just to be sure. Okay, my glue. Now I have two, because I know one works and one doesn't. Get rid of the glue boogie. And we will start assembly. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this piece. So this piece is 1 inch wide, and it's the same height as the card, so it's 5.5 inches. And we're simply going to see if this is the right glue. Oh, I think it is. I see glue coming barely out. And let's try the other one. You know, when you want to get your projects done, you're like, I don't want to wait for my glue. I want this now. Let's see how we, oh yeah, there we go. This one was already, there we go. Glue to start with. And I can see, normally I say lay it down, but it's working really well. Wow, it sounds like a train's coming through the house. That poor dryer. That poor dryer. There we go. Okay, so that little strip is on. And you might not be able to see that really well on camera, but the photos I took, it shows up much better. Anyway, let's continue on. Oh, I forgot one of my adhesives. One moment. It's funny when you look for them, you can't see them when they're right in front of your face. All right, we can do this a different way. So what I want to do is put these two pieces together first, but I don't want you to see the glue. So I'm going to figure that the words go this way, and my leaf is going to go this way. So I'm going to adhere the ink here, very carefully. There, that was pretty careful. You don't need a ton. You do not need a ton of glue. You never do. Yeah, just smush it in, and I have my wiggle time to move it around. There, it's stuck. Now I'm going to glue these two together. Now you might be asking yourself, why did Sandy not use the adhesive sheets? Well, because I found this works just fine. Oh wow, that train is slowing down. Yay! Anyway, I'm just putting wee little dots of glue, and if I feel like I have too much, I will take some off. And I did find my little sponge, but I forgot to bring that out. to show you a different way of doing this. Again, you don't need a lot, but I also don't want pieces sticking up. There. Alrighty. And all I'm going to do is take that very carefully and get one letter down. Once you've got one, just slide the rest into place. Moving down, moving down. I gotta pick that one up. There we go. A little more centered is what I'm looking for. It looked a little bit high, but at this point it's not moving. So there we go. Amazing. Like so. I love the black and the white together. Like they're just, you know, that's the sound it makes. Alrighty. Next comes this guy. And I'm just going to lay that across like so. I'm not gluing this on there yet, just because I want to get this set. So let's put a little glue here, and on we go. You can see where my glue is. That's what I'm really aiming for. So what I was doing is a mystery to me. I don't know. This one's actually just going to be right back here. I'm going to wait for a moment because I'm probably going to end up cutting it like this. So I'm just looking at placement at this point. So kind of like that. I don't want a whole lot of this over the edge. It just really doesn't need to be, and I need some support for the word, and that's why I also don't want to go too far over. Okay, one more thing. I have to bring my cutter back in because I need to cut this. I know, and you're like, what on earth is she using that? What has Sandy got up her sleeve? Well, I will tell you. I just thought this looked really cute, and I had one of these like on my desk because I cut so many of them, and I was like, I want to use that, but I'm not sure how. So here's what I did. I went like so. If you ask me the measurement, that's going to be 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the rainbow to where I'm going to cut. Roughly, it's rough. It's okay. Don't quote me on that. Eek! Stop moving. It's good when you don't move your items when you're cutting. So it's not this piece I want, it's this piece I want. I just thought it just was going to look really pretty. So it kind of goes right about here, and the U is going to sit on top of it. So I'm going to attach the U. It kind of seems like this is a little bit bass-ackward, but it isn't. Bear with me. I will get her going. Once it all comes together, it's like, wow. Amazing U. See, that just changes it from a plain little background. All right, so that one's attached. This one, again, oh, hey, scissors. I'm going to cut this kind of like so. I know that beautiful leaf I'm cutting. So I only need the top part, like so. So let's glue that down. Actually, let me take another look. You know, that measure twice, cut once thing again. Yeah, I wasn't really looking to have these over the edge. So pick them up, move them over a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay, so we'll just keep that there. Put a little glue here. Doesn't worry. Notice I didn't put any on the greenery up here. So it doesn't need it. A little bit of movement in your cards, because I could curl these if I wanted to, just by flicking the ends a little bit, just to give it a little bit more presence. All right, so this, the glue on top of here, and this is going to go over the edge a little bit, just a little bit, just deciding where I want the leaves to go. This one here and that one. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Notice I haven't popped anything up. You just, you know, you check to make sure it's really me, okay? Because it might be somebody else crafting here tonight. I don't know. Alrighty, so I'm going to put this on, and again, I don't want this over the edge because there's no reason to see that. You know what I mean? No reason. We don't need to see that. Oop, that's a little too much glue, so I'm going to scrape it. Scrape it and spread it the way I want it. Now, this little end I could cut off, or I could cover up. So I think that's a pretty good cover up. I just don't want little random pieces sticking out underneath my cards. And that's going to go like that. So don't glue that letter. That's going to go over the edge just a teeny bit. The word's long enough that, you know. So I'm just going to glue. not over my project. A little bit here. Whoops. If you get too much, do what I said. Just scrape it a little bit. I was just thinking, did I not pop anything up? I think I didn't. Oh, I must be ill. I didn't pop anything up. Amazing. Oh, I don't like that part sticking out. Okay, one thought, one moment. I have to cut this little edge off. There we go. Let's try that again. It's just these little things that I just like to... There. I may have to put a little bit more ink under the N, but for now... Oops, come over this way just a little bit. I'm liking it. We're getting there. Whew. Okay, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. First, I'm putting the... I do this. I definitely do this. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of this ribbon. Now, this is the Playful Pets trim. And it comes with a red trim as well with a white kind of dotted line through it. Okay, I will glue that down better. And what I wanted was, I just thought, it's pretty. I am putting gems on this. It's pretty, but I thought, what if I use ribbon? So I was like, I had a bow here, didn't like it, bow here, bow here. Then I went, why don't I do what I never do? Because, you know, there's one thing I really dislike, is I dislike seeing the ribbon on the inside of the card. But wait. But wait. I can. This is the end I want. I really like this. It just goes with the whole black and white theme. So I'm not cutting it quite yet. Getting to the spot where I'm like, is that the length I want? I think so. I can cut the tails if I have to. So, love that. And I've never done this before. Well, except on my sample card. I thought, why don't we just doll up the inside just a little bit? My dad used to call me doll. Yes, I miss him. The good old days. Okay, get that knot all the way down there. So what I've done is we have this nice little stripe down the side of the page. That's why I was concerned about where the amazing was. And when you open up the card, you know, like, oh, that's kind of pretty. It's almost like a bookmark. I will trim that just a little bit. Oh, but I don't want them the same length. I never want them the same length. That's me. You can have yours the same length. And then what I had done, just for a little more fun, is just unraveled them just a little bit, just for a little bit of whimsy. A little bit of whimsy. I'm just seeing Darlene's comment. Love the double layering of the words. That's what drew me to this set, was the fact that I could do double layering. Okay, we're almost there. We have to bring in some gems. So, and let's see how my take your pick tool is doing. Just fine. What I'm going to do, I think I might use all small ones. I'm going to put, not upside down, put one there. These jewels are, I use them the most. The basic rhinestone jewels. Love them a lot. I may end up, you'll see how this is up a little bit. I may end up going back in and just putting a little bit of glue in a few more places. So that's 3, if anyone's counting with me. Come here. Here or there. Here's good. I don't want it at the same height as that one. I know it seems silly, but you know, we all have our little, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One up here. 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is coming right away. And go right there. That is tonight's card, my friends. Get all this stuff out of the way. That is the card. So remember when I said on the I love you that I wasn't concerned about this part? Because it just conveniently goes right underneath the Z, so you don't see that. Here's my original. So somebody who shares my video, and if you're on YouTube, you gotta pop over to my Facebook page and share and say that you shared. You know what the problem is? Oh my goodness, I'm wondering, why is it so dark? Wait for this. Because my light wasn't on. The one that makes my hands look tanned. I seem to forget light number 3. Anyway, there they are. Now you can see the difference at how much more color I ended up getting on the ends of these. So every one is going to look different, and that is what a unique card is all about, in my opinion. So thank you so much. Again, the products I've used are available at my online store. I will put a link to my blog. This is from a blog hop as well. It's a global blog hop that I'm in, called the Positive Inkers. And if you would like to hop along and check out projects from ladies in other countries, we've got the Netherlands, we have England, Australia, United States, Canada. I didn't want too many, didn't want repeats in the country of origin. So there we go. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and link to, so you can actually see the items that are 20% off. They are while supplies last. So if you see a bundle that you want, order it now. Okay? They won't come back in before the promotion that ends on the 31st of this month. So if you want one of them, get them. Get them. Don't delay. The mini, don't delay. Don't do that. I do not want you to be disappointed at all. And I will also have my host code, because again, when you purchase minimum of $60 with me before tax and shipping, I send you a small gift and a handmade card as well. So thank you so very much for joining me. Thank you for your comments and your shares, your likes, your loves, all that. I will read your comments after, and I will see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.